The 2014 season simulation continues with the Jets and the Packers, where Green Bay gave up a league-worst 192 yards on the ground last week, and that would be the same storyline at the start of this one. It looked awfully ugly early on. After a Packers touchdown, Chris Johnson rallies all the way down the field and scores for the game-tying touchdown. It's 7 apiece here midway through the second quarter. After last week's egregious performance in the hands of the Seahawks, here comes the Green Bay Packers. We're tied at 7, second and goal from the 1. A quick drop, and Rodgers throws his first of 4 passing touchdowns. Jared Boykin is in the end zone. Touchdown Packers. 14-10 now. Andrew Quarles gets in the action, and the Green Bay offense continues to rally. It's 24-10 now. Rodgers looking, no Jets pass rush, and he goes for the touchdown to Jared Boykin. This may be one of the worst defenses that these Packers have faced so far. The final score, 38-10. Jared Boykin has had 4 receiving touchdowns in the first 2 weeks off of 9 catches. Aaron Rodgers only 3 incomplete passes all day long. The Packers win their first game of the season. Both teams are now 1-1. Brian Hoyer threw 3 interceptions in the Week 1 loss to the Steelers, and Mike Pettin, Browns coach, had enough of that. He's going to start Johnny Manziel at quarterback. 63 touchdowns and 22 picks ain't half bad for those Aggies during his 2 years as a starter at Texas A&M. After a Saints field goal, we see a lot of the good here on a 3rd and 12. Manziel off his back foot, under pressure, and fires straight to Miles Austin. What a grab, and he's got the first down. But then we see some of the bad. A shotgun snap and throws in the middle of nowhere. Incomplete pass, and the Browns have to punt. Drew Brees knows a thing or two about playing the quarterback position. On a 3rd down and 1, leading by a field goal, he's got it for the first down. And rookie Brandon Cooks continues to make big plays here in the first couple weeks here for this Saints offense. But on a 1st down and 10, Brees, trying to get more points on the board, is sacked by Paul Gruger. And on 2nd down, Brees, well, he's sacked again. That is Bushrod beaten like a drum across that left tackle position. And the Saints go into the break, leading but only by a field goal. The Browns back to work as Johnny Manziel gets it, but he throws his first interception. That is Pete Harrelson going the other way. Nearly goes in for a touchdown, but Manziel catches him from behind. Not a good play by the Cleveland offense. Throwing to Ben Tate, but the linebacker will take that, thank you very much. And it leads to a Drew Brees to Jimmy Graham touchdown connection, and the Saints lead this time by 10. And Johnny Manziel has to get into a rhythm. That defense has played fantastic, but they still trail 10-0 now. 3rd down and 4, Manziel going far side. It's intercepted by Jarius Byrd, and he'll take that one the distance. No stopping him that time. The former Bills safety in the end zone, and Johnny Manziel just threw his 2nd interception, that time for a touchdown. And the Browns defense has to be kicking themselves because Manziel is throwing this game away, literally. 1st down and 10, Manziel trying to travel down the field, completes to Jordan Cameron. He's got it for a gain of 12. Then on 1st and goal, the Browns finally reach the end zone, but it may have been too little too late as that drive took a lot of time off the clock. Saints now on the move. 3rd down complete. That is the tight end. Then on a 1st and 10 from inside the 15, completes to a leaping Brandon Cooks, and he's got it for the touchdown. The game-sealing score as Brees was fantastic throwing 2 touchdowns. That Saints defense has recorded 7 interceptions, but it makes it a lot easier when Manziel throws it right to him. After 3 picks, it begs the question whether Manziel will even start next week. A quarterback battle in Cleveland. Both of these teams 1-0. Both of them had one of the better defensive performances of the opening weekend, and they will face off to lead the division at 2-0. We are tied at 7 midway through the second. Demaryius Thomas on the receiving end of a Peyton Manning score, and that's the Broncos QB going crazy. The Broncos take the lead. It's 14-7. Now later on in the 3rd quarter, Alex Smith trying to respond, finds former Colt Donnie Avery with the reception, gain of 16. Then on a 2nd and 1, a read option for Alex Smith. He'll take it himself, calling his own number, and number 11 is in for the 11-yard touchdown. And the Kansas City Chiefs tie this game at 14 apiece. Alex Smith on the running end of a score. Here come the Broncos now. After a touchdown by Kansas City, they're back to work, and nobody's covering Julius Thomas, the tight end. It's pretty easy to complete passes for Peyton Manning when he's that wide open. 4 receptions for 57 yards. Broncos on the move. 2nd and 1 from the red zone now. Peyton Manning back to throw. Kansas City has to make a stop. Looking, going, end zone, caught by Wes Welker, and he's in for the touchdown. Denver Broncos, a huge 80-yard drive, and he's in for the score. Alex Smith across his back body throws, and it's intercepted by Raheem Moore. A huge turnover there, and that puts the Broncos in plus territory. They end up scoring a touchdown. Next time on a 1st and 10, completes. That's the tight end down the near sideline, and he's knocked out of bounds, but not before he gets to midfield. Now on a 2nd and goal, Alex Smith going underneath is caught by Fasano, and they pulled to within a touchdown. Kansas City cracks the scoreboard. 2nd down and 10. They have to make the stop on the defensive end now. Hand off to Monty Ball, and he bullies his way into the win column. That will ice the game. The Broncos win, but it wasn't easy. Final score 28-21 as Peyton Manning throws only 7 incomplete passes to 4 touchdowns. Both teams will hit the road next week as the Broncos take on the champion Seahawks. Meanwhile, the Kansas City Chiefs face the Dolphins. The Lions won in surprising fashion over the New York Giants last week, while Carolina continues their impressive winning streak. Golden Tate had yet to have a catch until the second half of last week's game. Carolina and Detroit facing off. Early first quarter, Matt Stafford to the tight end, the first touchdown of the year for Eric Ebron, the rookie out of North Carolina. He's in the end zone. Detroit leads by 7. Carolina on a 10-point rally and continues to find plays down the field as Cam Newton fires over the middle, and it's caught for the score. As many critics were questioning this Panthers receiving corps, well, that's the tight end Ed Dixon in the end zone, slams it over the goalpost. That'd be a penalty nowadays. But that's good for the touchdown. 20-7, the Panthers on top, and it's just one of those kind of days for that Detroit Lion offense. Calvin Johnson dropped, picked up off the shoe tops by linebacker Thomas Davis, and good for the takeaway. As you take a second look, Johnson just unable to connect. Only 4 catches in today's ball game. 26-7, Matt Stafford, one final shot to the end zone, and yes sir, it's intercepted by Morgan. The Panthers win 26-7. Cam Newton a fantastic day throwing the football as Detroit continues to lose these games. An inconsistent ball club. They're now 1-1 on the season. As it doesn't get any easier, they will take on the Green Bay Packers, who are 1-1 on the season as well. Meanwhile, the Panthers, they host the Pittsburgh Steelers next week. Seattle is still one of the best teams in the NFL, taking on the 0-1 San Diego Chargers. Last week, they combined for 25 yards rushing, 3 turnovers, 1 out of 8 on 3rd downs. Not exactly the offensive performance they would like to see. Early Seattle drive. This offense is a touch better, as on a 2nd and 6, Russell will take it himself and get about 12 yards and a big Seattle Seahawks first down. 2nd and goal, Wilson looking, he'll take it himself and finds the end zone, and that's a 9-yard score to give the Seahawks the lead. It's 7-0 early in San Diego. Now here come the Chargers right before halftime. 2nd down, he's going long, and Rivers connects. That's his tight end Gates, all the way inside the 20 down to the 12-yard line. 1st and goal, now 3rd and goal. Ryan Matthews gets the touchdown that the Chargers desperately needed. It's all tied at 7 here at Qualcomm Stadium, but never say die to those Seattle Seahawks, as following the score, they traveled quickly down the field. Wilson finds Doug Baldwin in the far corner, and with under 30 seconds to go here on a 1st down and 10, Wilson will go for the deep play, and he's got it for the touchdown. That's Baldwin in the end zone. And the Seahawks reclaim the lead. That is a killer score against the San Diego Chargers, because it took them what seemed to be an eternity to climb back into this game, and now they trail 17-7. Now here comes San Diego. Phillip Rivers back to work. He's going long, and it's intercepted by Cam Chancellor. It's the 4th INT by Phillip Rivers in 2 weeks. It's been a real head-scratching month of September for the former comeback player of the year. Russell Wilson now back to work. Fires to Lynch on a screen across midfield and tripped up at the 40-yard line. And that Seahawks drive continues with Robert Turbin. Yes, he has kickstarted a dynamic 1-2 punch in Seattle as they are continually on the move. 1st and goal, Wilson going end zone. It's intercepted. That is Dwight Freeney in the end zone. And the Seahawks come up empty there on the goal line. Intended for Zach Miller, but the defensive end pass rush specialist is in there for the INT. He was hurt all of last year, but he makes a big-time play. The only one hurting are the Seahawks. Now here comes Malcolm Floyd on the receiving end of a huge Phillip Rivers bullet. The Chargers are on the rhythm now. Ladarius Green for 16 yards. Second down and 10. He'll find the Louisiana Lafayette tight end one more time. That's Ladarius Green inside the 10. Down to the 9, an impressive play, leaping over Cam Chancellor, and he's got it for the catch. Now on a third down and goal from the 1-yard line. Phillip Rivers, he's going long, end zone caught, touchdown Eddie Royal, he's in there for the score. And the Chargers, they pulled to within 3, the comeback kings, America's team. They're in there, and it's 17-14 in Qualcomm Stadium. Now time for the onside kick. This wouldn't seal the game, but it'd be awfully close. The kick goes off a Seahawk and recovered by the Chargers. That is Jaleel Adai on the recovery, and they'll take that. Thank you very much. Now with under 5 seconds to go on a 3rd and 10, one final play. Phillip Rivers back to throw. Pass rush coming. He's going long, and it's incomplete. The Chargers lose, but it was way closer than the Seahawks would have liked, as Seattle pulls out on top, 17-14 your score. 28 points combined during the first 2 weeks, and that includes 4 turnovers, all by Phillip Rivers, and that running game isn't a whole lot better. Your final score, 17-14, as the winless San Diego Chargers try to make amends. They'll travel to Ralph Wilson Stadium to take on the Bills next week. The Colts were blown out last week in a road matchup against the Broncos. Now they come back home to face the Eagles, who have only beat them once since 1993. Just a hint for you, Bubby Brister was the starting quarterback for the Eagles. Second and goal, handoff goes to Sproles. He fumbles the ball, but luckily for him, it's recovered by Todd Herremans, and he'll score the touchdown. The first offensive lineman who gets in the end zone this season. Philadelphia leads by 10 following a field goal, but on second and goal, Ahmad Bradshaw bangs it through. He's in the end zone for a touchdown. The Colts not only crawl back into it, but with another touchdown, they take the lead. It's 14-10. Andrew Luck has the football there to begin the fourth quarter. He's going long and fires to T.Y. Hilton. He's in there for the touchdown, and the Colts may have just iced this one, but Nick Foles has some sort of an answer among them. Following 21 unanswered points, the Eagles haven't scored since the beginning of the second quarter. Now with 4 minutes to go, here goes LaShawn McCoy across the near sideline, 35 yards on the catch and run. But on 1st and 10, Foles looking long, steps up in the pocket and throws his first and only interception. That is Butler on the return, and he's out to the 17. The Indianapolis Colts beat him again. It's a 1-1 start for both of these teams as the Eagles fall. The final score 24-10. And it doesn't get any easier next week. They will host Deshaun Jackson and the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, the Colts face the Jaguars. The Niners beat the Cowboys and the Bears defeated the Bills last week. Now it's time for an undefeated matchup between these Niners here at Candlestick Park and the Chicago Bears, led by Jimmy Clausen. They threw a touchdown to Josh Morgan in the first quarter, and then Frank Gore gave the Niners a 14-7 lead early in the second. We are set for the third quarter here between two of these undefeated teams. San Francisco gets the ball first. Kaepernick now on a 3rd down and 5. Back to throw, throwing underneath, and it's caught, but unable to move the chains is Michael Crabtree. And those Niners have to punt. 2nd down now. Here comes Jimmy Clausen here at the waning seconds of the 3rd quarter. Now the beginning of the 4th. 1st and 10. Clausen's sideline, and Eric Weems will be an extremely busy receiver here in this final period. Clausen again to Weems. He's got it. Move the chains. 2nd down and 10 now. Clausen continuing to drive down the field, throwing, but he fumbles the football. That is Bennett, and it's recovered by Tremaine Brock of the 49ers. And a huge fumble forced by Navarro Bowman. And that's what the typical Niners do. It's a turnover. Here comes San Francisco. Frank Gore the other way. All the way to midfield. That's a gash for 25. He had nearly 200 yards in this game. Then Kaepernick finds Bolden. We're at the 2-minute warning now. Huge a game here coming down to the waning seconds. 1st and 10. Hand off to Gore. 1st down will seal it. But the ball's loose. It's recovered by Chicago. And they're Johnny on the spot for the recovery. A huge play by Ryan Mundy, and that will give the Bears a chance. Here comes Jimmy Clausen and the Bears coming right back to work. It's a completion for 9. There goes Eric Weems on the catch. 1st down and 10. Clausen back to work, continuing to shred this Niners defense. Here, 1st down and 10. Clausen looking, going sideline, and is caught. That is Edwards in there for the catch, and a gain of 20. 1st and goal from the 2. Clausen, touchdown. Josh Morgan's second receiving score on the season in what has been a huge comeback trail. He's playing against his former team, the 49ers, and he ties this game at 14. And ladies and gentlemen, that score sends us to overtime. The Niners haven't scored a point since the beginning of the second quarter, and now they have to watch the Chicago offense take the field first. First and 10, a handoff goes to Matt Forte, and he's got it for about 9.5. Then Clausen on an empty set fires to Forte again, and he's got a huge gain down that far sideline. It's a catch and run of 25. Here comes Clausen, second down, complete to Morgan, but he's down on the field and hurt. We'll check the medical report after the game. First down and 10 from inside the 20 in overtime. The first drive for the Bears goes all the way down to the 1-yard line. Second and inches, Kadeem Carey in the game, and he's got it for the touchdown. Rambles in from a yard out, and the Chicago Bears win. Kadeem Carey, the rookie running back, his first carry on the season, and it gives the Bears a win and a 2-0 start in the NFC North. They lead the division after week number 2. As for San Francisco, they had their fair share of struggles all second half. They didn't score a single point since midway through the second quarter, and Frank Gore rambled for over 200 yards, yet the Niners still lose. Final score 20-14 in overtime. The Texans and the Raiders. Jadeveon Clowney has yet to have a sack in the last game and didn't record one here, but the Texans still led 14-10 in the final quarter as Kareem Jackson recovers a fumble forced by the big-time linebacker Whitney Merciless, and the Texans take over, and with a field goal on the boards, they lead by 7. One final drive for backup Carr, and he throws an interception straight to Kareem Jackson, and he'll take it the distance. The defensive player of the week. He had 6 tackles, a fumble recovery, and that pick 6 to seal this ball game. Houston wins their first game of the season. The Oakland Raiders are 0-2. The Giants and the Cardinals. Arizona won last week in a big-time matchup against the San Diego Chargers. Meanwhile, New York is looking for their first victory of the season. Ted Ginn, trailing by 3, is caught on the sideline. The Cardinals are trying to ice this game with a touchdown drive with under 2 to play. Carson Palmer evades a tackle, nearly is complete to a big-time wide receiver Brown, but it's incomplete. 4th down and 1. The Cardinals trying to make a play. Palmer to his rookie tight end Troy Nicholas, and it's right through his hands. The Cardinals lose their first of the season. Both teams are 500 as Rashad Jennings ices this game with a first down. Final score, Giants 17, Cardinals 14. The Ravens and the Steelers, a hard-hitting rivalry. Last year, both of these teams failed to make the postseason. But for the first time since 1999, the Ravens took a 14-3 lead off of a Steve Smith 45-yard pass completion. But the Steelers counter. They go 80 yards and scored and pulled to within 3 after a 2-point conversion to Heath Miller. Jonathan Dwyer in the end zone for the first rushing touchdown for Pittsburgh this season. Now with a 3-point lead, Ray Rice, after 3 carries, gains only 1 yard, and Jason Worilds forces those Ravens to punt. Second down and 9, former Oakland Raiders Darius Hayward-Bay across that far sideline. Mark Tomlin is not there to trip him up inbounds. He's not stepping onto the field of play, and he's got it for a gain of 44 yards. Ben Roethlisberger ties this game up to 14. Now here come the Steelers on their first possession of overtime as Roethlisberger is incomplete on a 3rd down and 10, forcing a punt by Pittsburgh. Second down and 6. Now here come the Ravens, traveling all the way down the field, an impressive leaping grab and move the chains. 3rd down and 5. Ray Rice has enough for the first down marker, and the Ravens sent out the field goal unit from there. Justin Tucker from 50, and he's got it for the win. The Ravens, they're now 1-1 on the season and even 500, and the Steelers fall to that mark as well with the loss. Taking a look at the Week 2 scores, they're all in the books now. The Titans win 23-21 despite 3 Romo to Bryant touchdown connections. They fall short by 2 points. Tom Brady completed over 80% of his passes in a 34-21 shellacking over the Minnesota Vikings in their stadium. The Saints win 24-7 over 3 Manziel interceptions. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers squeak out a late 27-20 victory as Sam Bradford throws a late INT. The remainder of the scores are in the books as well. Taking a look forward to week number 3 of the season, a couple of big-time matchups to look out for. The Cowboys and the Rams are potentially the best 0-2 teams in the league. They'll face off in St. Louis. The Broncos and the Seahawks both are 2-0, perhaps the best teams in the NFL. The winner stays unbeaten. The Niners and Cardinals in the NFC West are an even Steven 500 at 1-1. They'll face off in Arizona. And look out for the Redskins and the Eagles. It is Deshaun Jackson's return and more coming up next week.